Rely on the gospel of Jesus Christ and the counsel of church leaders. So someone define an annuity for me. What is an annuity?
Does anybody know what an annuity is?
Anyone heard that term? So an annuity is really a contract between you and an insurance company. So that guarantees you give them a certain amount of money, and that guarantees a certain distribution for a certain amount for a certain length of time, or death, whichever is first.
Right.
So these are used a lot in retirement planning to help people. What people will do is they'll figure out, okay, how much in the U.S. what they'll figure is how much do I have from Social Security? Then how much more am I going to need each month
To live.
And they'll often will buy an annuity just when they retire.
So, but they have to have in a lump sum to get it.
Yeah. But
You have to have money saved to put it in for the annuity. So we're going to go through some problems to see how much someone would get from an annuity if they donate so much money.
So we use this example here.
Not donate, but if they contribute money.
Why don't you do this one and then
Okay.
we have a little more.
So we're going to do this problem. So Bill is 65, and he expects to retire at age 95. So that's 30 years that he wants to be in retirement. The interest rates right now are 4%. If he purchases a $300,000 annuity contract at 4%, how much will he receive at the beginning of each month for 30 years?
So your financial calculator will calculate this for you.
So the present value he's giving the guy is $300,000. So I'm going to go minus $300,000. You guys can do this with your calculator. He wants to be in retirement for 30 years. So I'm going to put 30 years. He's going to get 12 payments a year because he's going to get paid every month. Okay? And he's going to get it at the beginning of the month, right?
Yeah, at the beginning of each period. So this is new. We haven't used this much.
So he's going to, you have to put a 1 under type. You have to put a 1 because it's at the beginning. If it was at the end, it would be 0 or you don't put anything. But this is at the beginning of the month. So you're going to put a 1 here. And now we're going to calculate how much his payments are going to be every month.
Notice with Google, it's not as fast as Excel. But the good news is it still works. That's the important thing. Again, we wrote this because my daughter didn't have Excel, and so we figured out a way we could do this.
And some students didn't have Excel either.
Yeah, some students don't have Excel too. Some people have some different things.
Or computers that
Yeah,
don't do
computers. So again, a lot of times when you go, if you want to purchase an annuity, they won't tell you what the interest rate. They'll just tell you the amount that you're going to get. And can you back into that, what the interest rate is? Yeah.
So,
okay.
So he's going to get $1,427.49 per year per month for 30 years. But if he dies first, then that he loses all the rest.
So there is some risk there too. And then with insurance are expensive contracts, especially when you're combining insurance and investments. So what we like is just this is a plain vanilla contract which has the least amount of fees.
But the way these insurance companies make money is that they're taking your $300,000 and they're investing it in the stock market
and other places.
Or other places, and they're making more than 4%. But because interest rates right then are at 4%, that's how much they're willing to pay you, and then they get to keep the rest. Yeah. And if you pass away, they get to keep the rest.
So then what's a compound annuity? And so what that is you're just putting in a certain amount of money every month for a period of time, and you allow it to grow. So we're going to take a little bit broader view of what an annuity is, and we're just going to call it any cash flow that takes place more than once. And it could be money received by you, you get your allowance, bi-monthly paycheck, or it can be any money that's leaving you, such as payment on a loan, payment for a car, payment for a mortgage, things like this. So that's our framework. What's fun about annuity? You get to use the payment function. Also, you get to use the type function too. So we like that. It's just a little bit different.
Okay. Oops.
Okay.
Payment function.
So anyone like to come up and be our guinea pigs? If you don't have a calculator.
It's not really a guinea pig.
You can be our person. Sho, can we get you to come up, please?
Okay. You deposited $2,000 at the end of each year into a savings account that earned 7.5% annual interest compounded annually. How much would you have in the account after 5 years?
So think about what do we want?
You're depositing,
What do we
so you're
have?
going to go minus 2,000 at the beginning of each year into a savings account that earns 7.5% annual interest compounded annually. How much would you have in the account after 5 years? So this is like the same problem, only now it's at the beginning.
If you don't clear it, all you can do is just put a 1 down at the bottom.
Whoops.
Type.
Sorry,
it makes
we
it easier.
cleared it.
But that's all right. You can do it the same way.
There we go. 12,488.04.
Okay,
So
we
if
wanna enable
he
VBA.
did it at the beginning,
Okay.
notice how he made like $1,000 more by doing it at the beginning instead of the
Now
end
go back
of the
to that
month.
file.
Okay, let's do another one. This is an auto annuity.
Unblock.
Okay, you can go ahead. I'll let somebody
Apply,
else do it.
And okay.
Do this one.
Yeah,
Okay, so who would like
Now,
to
I
come
want
up?
you to change that.
Volunteer?
And I wanna
Okay,
change
come
it
on up.
To Troy's financial
Okay,
calculator. Rename
so
it.
you're saving for a Honda
So it's
Civic.
Troy's.
You invest $2,000 at the end of each year into a savings
Get rid of the
account
05 too,
with annual compounding. If your annual return on your investment
Now
is
let's open that
7%,
file.
how much will you have in the Civic account
it.
after 5 years? Hey, 11,501.
You got it on
okay.
yours.
So click over here for future value. You got it. You got it too.
So do you notice that Google is
no,
slower?
stay.
On yours, you push it and it's there, but it still works. That's the important thing.
Okay. So did everybody
Anyone
get
owned
that?
a Civic before? Our daughters, we've had, that was one of our college students' cars, and you'll get 300,000 miles out, or 200
they
easily.
last a long time. Except for in Hawaii, they don't last that long because of the weather.
Yeah.
Okay, does everybody have any questions about that? They got it? Okay, let's do another one. So these are really important to understand these for the quiz. Okay. So we're going to go over here. You invest $1,000 at the beginning of each quarter into a savings account with quarterly compounding.
So $4,000
Make sure
a
you
year.
read all the little parts. If the average annual return of the account is 7%, how much will you have in the account after 10 years?
So compounding is really, how often is interest credited to you? That's simply all it is.
That's all it is.
This one,
And then
interest
you
is
get
credited
interest-
quarterly, so then your interest can earn interest.
Right. Okay. So you got that one, and we've already done two, so we'll let somebody else go. Thank you. Does anybody have questions about this one? Children save for missions. This is a two-part problem. Cam wants to have $5,000 in 5 years for his mission. How much must he invest in the Jeff Hill Mulford Family Bank?
So Jeff Hill's the
the
author.
other professor.
He and I are the author of that book that we use.
Anyway, so at the end of each month, if it pays 10% annual interest.
Can you get 10% annual interest? No, only from the bank of mom and dad.
Right.
So we try to
Compounded.
encourage our kids to save by subsidizing their interest.
So compounded monthly if the parents match his contribution. So what do we want? We want to know how much how much he has to put in every month in order to have $5,000 at the end of 5 years. But remember, his parents are going to match it one-on-one.
Right answer.
So the answer was $64.57 divided by 2, which is $32.29. So he only has to contribute $32.29 for 5 years, and he'll have $5,000 for his mission.
Do parents use this a lot with your kids who want to go on for education?
Okay,
We did it.
Thanks.
We told our kids, okay, if you earn a certain amount, we'll match it, and we'll match it with a multiple. Did it encourage them? Yeah, it did. We had one daughter who got to the end of the semester, and she says, sorry, Dad, I haven't saved enough money.
For the next semester.
For the next semester. And we said, sorry, well, too bad, you weren't going to go to school. She goes, you mean you would keep me from not going to school because I haven't saved the money? We said, yes. And so...
So
for
she
the
went
next-
to work and
she worked
got a job
two
during
jobs
Christmas.
during Christmas.
So
and
she could
did.
earn money to go to school.
But just so you can see how things work.
And we were matching it by a lot.
Okay.
Anyway, but she just had to earn a little, but she didn't
Okay.
have it.